Hey, what's up everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is my review of Love, Sex, and Marriage Season 1, and this is the season finale. I do apologize that this review is late, but hey, I'm a man of my word, and I had to review this episode. For those who've been following me on social media, y'all know I've been going through a lot of my personal life, and I thank all of you for your love and support that you've shown me and my family. So, let me begin with this episode because first of all, let me announce that they're going to be doing a stage play of Love, Sex, and Marriage, during Labor Day weekend. I'm also going to have the link where you can go get the tickets, 7stage.com. I will have that link in the description box. Definitely check that out and get your tickets right now, before the show sells out. Alright, so let me begin with this episode. So, the first thing we see is that Dion and Vontae finally decide to consummate their relationship. And the next day, Vontae tells Ken all about it, how he still got it and he whipped it on him and made his toes curl. And then all of a sudden when Andre came in, you immediately see Vontae's mood change. And, Andre is there to get a blazer from Ken because Ken is trying to help, Andre get a job at his company. And, Ken is about to win this business award. So while Ken goes to get the blazer, Vontae lets Andre know, like, look, have you talked to Ken yet? Well, you better talk to him before I do. Because it's this rumor going around that Andre and Darren had sex at that bachelor party, which we all know really didn't happen. But right now, the rumor has a life on its own, and everybody is completely believing the actual shade that was dropped on Terrell's lap by Jamie. So, afterwards, Vontae leaves, and Andre asks him for a ride, and then, Vontae's like, well, it seems to me you've been doing a lot of riding with your nasty ass. And I'm like, Vontae, cut it the fuck out, because here it is, you done built an assumption about this boy, and what you thinking is totally not the case. But then Andre tries to talk to Ken, but Ken is like, oh no, you gotta go because I gotta get stuff ready. I gotta get, Darren's thing, suit out the cleaners. I ain't got time. So when Andre was trying to talk to him, he got blown off. And Kim just kind of like rushed him off. Then we get the scene that I have been waiting for this entire season. We see that Dion decides to pay a visit to Vontae at his restaurant. And while Vontae goes to get him a glass of wine, Terrell shows up. And he's like, yo, so what the hell you doing up in here? And then all of a sudden, Dion is like, what the hell you here? He's like, man, this is my best friend's place, man. What, you trying to get some dick in the bathroom or something? I'm like, Terrell, you nasty asshole. I was gagging. And then the next thing you know, we see Vontae comes back, and he now realizes, oh, wow, what the hell's going on? How y'all know each other? And then, like, of course, Terrell was like, well, hey, I know, he's like, shit. I know more than just. I'm sorry, I kind of got tripped up a little bit. Pretty much. So how do you know Dion? He's like, shit, I know more than just knowing Dion. Shoot, this the nigga I've been fucking all this time. And then all of a sudden you see that Dion is caught in between a rock and a hard place. He's trying to explain to Vontae that, look, this was before we started talking. What I said to you was true. I really do feel you, and it's over between us. Tell him, Terrell. He was like, yeah, you said it was over after I fucked your brains out. I'm like, Terrell is such an asshole. So, of course, this pisses Vontae off. He tells Dion, you ain't shit, because the thing, what happened in the first scene when they were about to consummate the relationship, Vontae said that, look, I do not want to be hurt. And Deanna said that that's the last thing I would do to you. So now Vontae feels jaded. He feels lied to. So, of course, he throws Dion out. And then he also throws out Terrell, and he was saying that you knew I liked him and you fucked him anyway. He's like, man, how the fuck I was supposed to know? He's like, nigga, you fuck everybody in Atlanta, nigga. Like, I mean, but then again, hey, you know, it's a small world after all. So yeah, he had no idea you two knew each other, but hey, shit happens. But then again, I will say that Dion's not wrong, but he's wrong in this regard because the last time he had sex with Terrell, you can tell he has some he kind of was resistant towards Terrell's advances because he was feeling Vontae. So instead of you staying there and trying to get that Mandingo, your ass shouldn't have fucking been there in the first damn place. Because at the end of the day, you called Terrell to come over there. So that's where I have my thing with Dion, is that okay, once you knew that you had feelings for Vontae, you should have cut it off with Terrell right then and there. I mean, at least it would have looked better, but then again, you know, hey, what can you say? I mean, Terrell is sexy chocolate, and when sexy chocolate trying to throw something onto you, it's hard to say no. So that's what we have there. So then we see later on that Terrell goes to talk to Ken and Darren, well, mainly to Ken, and Terrell feels bad because he's like, man, now, you know, Vontae won't even talk to me now, you know, and how can I go up to his restaurant, because they're all supposed to be at this, you know, event where Ken's supposed to be getting this prestigious award. And before Terrell shows up, you know, Ken and Darren are having a conversation, and Ken kind of throws something out there that he feels that, you know, because he invited Vontae too, but Vontae said that he couldn't go because he had, you know, this big dinner engagement at his restaurant and he couldn't break away. Well, he says that Vontae was up for this award years ago but didn't win, so maybe I think he's a little salty that I'm winning, and that's the reason why he doesn't want to come, because he owned the restaurant. Why couldn't he just get off? So they kind of talking about that, but then Terrell shows up talking about Vontae, saying that, look, we just found out that we was messing with the same dude, and now Vontae won't talk to me. And Ken was like, come on, I'm gonna work this out. Y'all need to get to the bottom of this, because at the end of the day, you know, y'all friends. And, you know, we see that Terrell does feel bad that, you know, he's caught up in the situation, because he does love his friends. I mean, Terrell can be an asshole all day, every day, but he loves his friends, and he's not the type of person that would try to go out of his way to sabotage, you know, one of his friends, you know, by sleeping with their man. You know, Terrell just doesn't have that in him. Even though Terrell's a hoe, Terrell is not messy, you know, or he's not going to screw your man intentionally. Like, he had no idea. And that's pretty much the conversation that him and Ken had. So Terrell was like, okay, I'll see you at the restaurant. And then he tells Darren, yeah, and I probably will see you there too, because obviously he's believing the rumor that Jamie put out there that Darren and Andre had sex at that bachelor party. So we saw that go down. Then at the restaurant, we see that Ken is talking to Vontae, and he's pretty much telling him that, look, were you and Dion ever say that y'all were exclusive? So at the end of the day, he can still mess around. He can still sleep around if he wants to. But at the end of the day, you know, how did he know? Did he even know that you and Terrell were friends? So you got to hear him out. You know, give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, which makes perfect sense. I mean, Ken gave some great advice. He was like, look, y'all weren't exclusive. Obviously, he didn't know you two were friends. So won't y'all talk it out and find out what really went down? And then we see Terrell shows up. Of course, Vontae at first is kind of standoffish, but Terrell explains that, look, I'm sorry, I did not know that this was the same Dion you were talking to. But, you know, towards the last time we met with each other, he did tell me that he wanted to cut it off because he was really into somebody. You know, so that was interesting. And then all of a sudden, Andre shows up, and immediately both Terrell and Vontae start going in on Andre, like, yeah. And then, like, and then all of a sudden, you know, Ken kind of notices that they both are kind of like throwing Andre shade. And he's like, yo, what the hell is going on here? And Vontae's like, well, the thing about it is that, you know, some of us don't really know how to treat a friend and all of this shit. And then, like, you know, if anything, that brings up Ken, like, well, you're saying that, but bitch, you was up for this war years ago, and you ain't even trying to come to my award ceremony when you own your restaurant. You could get anybody to work this shit, but you chose to stay. Like, so what's up with that? And then Andre was like, yeah, some friend you are, bitch. And then, like, he's like, yeah, but but then all of a sudden they both was like, well, you got some nerve talking this, because I would have never did the shit that you did. And, like, of course, Ken is like, what the hell is going on? And he was like, and they both like, you know, tell it. So Andre tries to explain again what happened, and he was saying that, and he was saying, and pretty much they dropped the ball that, you know, that Andre slept with Darren. And of course Andre's like, you gonna laugh at this, girl, because, you know, what happened is that we did run into each other at the party and all that, and immediately Ken snaps and is ready to beat Andre's ass. So he's like amped. So he's like on 10, and he ain't trying to hit shit. Andre's trying to explain that, yeah, we saw each other at the party, but nothing, we didn't do anything. But of course Ken ain't trying to hear it, because he's believing that his best friend will fuck his man. Now my whole thing is that, shouldn't you have more faith in your best friend? I mean, at the end of the day, if you know damn well you've been friends with this boy, you know, ever since you guys were kids, do you think he will go out of his way to intentionally fuck your man? And when he was dancing all on him and shit, Andre had no idea it was Darren. He had no clue. So all of a sudden, it wasn't until they got in the bathroom that he revealed who he was, and then he decided to take him home and to get him out of there, which was probably for Andre's own good. But, you know, Ken goes off. He tells Andre off, calls him a low-class bitch. The next time the nigga beat your ass, don't call me, call a Uber bitch. Lose my number and lose my address, and you can actually keep that blazer, because you can use it on your first, you know, you can use it when you on your first trip to hell with your low-class ass. And I was like, oh my god. And Andre was hurt, and I was hurt seeing the fact that Andre is being railroaded and he didn't do anything wrong. True, he shouldn't have been tricking, but at the end of the day, he's not a bad person, and he's not the type of person that will go out of his way to fuck his best friend's man. And it kind of made me upset with Ken a little bit, because I'm like, you should know your friend well enough that he wouldn't do no shit like that. But obviously, you believe in the hype, and since this rumor has taken a life on its own, everybody's eating it up, including Terrell and Vontae. And I'm like, in a way, it made me feel some kind of way that these bitches was doing that. Like, didn't you two sluts just found out that y'all was fucking the same dude, and yet y'all gonna judge Andre like that? Y'all got some damn nerve. Because as I was saying before, you know, Andre has his issues, but a lot of them have just as much issues as Andre. And now we're seeing in this finale, some of their shit is starting to come to the surface. Because after that happens, Ken goes home and confronts Darren. Like, you fucked Andre. And he's like, I didn't have sex with Andre. Who told you that? Why are you worried about that? And like, Ken is not trying to hear shit. It's a good thing he had a red blazer, because that represented his mood. He saw red, and when a person sees red, they ain't trying to hear shit. They're not trying to talk about nothing. They have their mindset, and no matter what, they're gonna believe what the fuck they want to believe. And that's exactly what was going on in this conversation between Darren and Ken. You know, Darren is trying to let him know nothing happened. You know, who's telling you this shit? I did not have sex with Andre. I didn't. And, you know, Ken is like, you know what, just go. Just leave me be. I'll be late, you know, to the ceremony, but just go and, you know, let my boss know that I'll be there. But I need to be alone right now. And he just kind of blows Darren off. But then again, Darren, you're at fault for this shit. You want to know why, baby cakes? You at fault because you shouldn't have been keeping secrets. See, when you keep secrets, motherfuckers like Jamie with his messy ass can come and drop a bomb and walk the fuck away, and now everybody's affected by the bomb, which the bomb would have never been able to been laid if you would have came out and told Ken the truth about what happened that night. So due to the fact that he's finding out through a third party, it's not looking good, and it's not working out in your favor right now. Because what ends up happening is that 2 hours pass. We see that both Terrell and Darren are at Vontae's restaurant. They have not heard from Ken. They can't get in touch with Ken. They don't know what the fuck's going on. But then we see that Terrell and Darren go back and forth. And Terrell is like, yo, how you going to do some shit like that? How the hell you going to, mess around with Andre and all this shit? And Darren is like, he said, and then like, I'm sorry. Then Terrell was like, my boy Jamie told me everything that happened that night. How y'all was in the bathroom and shit. And Darren was like, well, you need to let your boy Jamie know he need to get his damn facts straight, because all I did was get his stuff and took him home. That was it. Nothing fucking happened. And then Terrell was like, man, you don't expect me to believe that, man? I'd have kicked your ass. And then Darren kind of bossed up and was like, try me. And he kind of like bossed up, was like, try me, fool. And he's like, first of all, I did not have sex with Andre. And think about it. Why would I have sex with Andre at the party when everybody at that party knows me and Ken? So I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Interesting. But then again, it kind of makes me question, does Darren still got an eye for Andre? Because we've seen him check out Andre, and at the end of the day, we've always seen, in like when the very first episode, we see him kind of like, letting Andre know, I know your tea. I could tell it, but, I'll keep this between us. If you stop, I won't say nothing. So Darren has this issue of not just of keeping secrets, and because of that, drama is allowed to perpetuate. So therefore, Darren decides to call Ken to find out what's going on, because it's been 2 hours and no one's heard from him. And then Terrell calls Andre and find out what's going on with him, because obviously Andre is distraught. He's broken because he just lost his best friend, the one person that's been in his corner, and now his best friend done told him off and told him that he wants shit and that he can rot in hell. Okay, we get another scene. We get back into Ken's house. We see clothes over the, on the floor and shit. We see his blazer on the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? We get the damn clip and we see that motherfucker Ken is up in bed getting dicked down by that nigga Jeremy. Now Jeremy, if y'all remember, is the guy that raped Andre at that party, and Terrell beat his ass, and he's also close friends with Darren. The question is, how the fuck did Jeremy even get in this situation? And second, due to the fact that I have the knowledge that he drugged Andre, did he also drug Ken too? Because Ken did look like he was into it, but it seemed like Jeremy was more conscious than Ken was. So it makes me question, did he drug Ken too? Because my whole thing is that I think Ken reached out to Jeremy to find out what really happened, because he don't believe Darren and he don't believe Andre. So he looking for that third party, not realizing that third party is a messy ass nigga who's known to drug and rape niggas and shit, because he did that shit to your best friend. The question is, was Ken willingly having sex, or was he drugged? And I think in time we'll find that out. But at the end of the day, you now in some shit that could have been prevented if you would just listen to your man. And then it also was revealed before that scene that Darren was going to propose to him that night. But obviously these two are not ready for marriage, because they're not really communicating, and they're not being fully honest. So after this, I'm like, yo, I am so ready for season 2, because I know season 2 is going to be fire. Because I want to know what the fuck was Ken thinking, or what the fuck happened that he ended up in bed with Jeremy, in the damn bed that him and Darren share with each other. So that's a complete violation right there. You fucking his boy up in the bed that you and Darren share with each other. So this shit gonna take a life on its own, and at the end of the day, it's like the situation gonna flip, and Ken gonna be in the bad seat where Andre is now. So we're gonna see how this gonna play out. But yes, this is my review, y'all. Sorry it's late, but I had to fucking share a video on this because I'm a big fan of the show. I love the cast and crew. I think these guys are amazing. They are very talented, and they were delivering this season. So I definitely had to give this finale review. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. Or if you have any thoughts about this episode, definitely put it down there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Just respect me. That's all I ask. So, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social links. I have them all listed in the description box. And also, go to 7stages.com and get your tickets today. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the Season 2 premiere of Love, Sex, and Marriage. So until then, everybody, take care.